a band program, if you have a football team, what does the football team do? They go play what? Football. If you have a band programs can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Sometimes you want to have, a program that does one activity within that band program really, really well, and that's what they're known for. Maybe it's a jazz program, maybe it's a marching band, maybe it's playing for the musicals. Maybe there's lots of different things that bands can do. And what I think is just great about our program is that we do a lot of things. And sometimes you lose a little bit of credibility or a little bit of weight to how good those things are. And maybe we're bordering on spreading ourselves too thin because we do a lot of stuff. But what excites me is that when we go out and play, whether it's on the concert stage, or whether it's our percussion section this year, or whether it's our winter guard, or whether it's the color guard within the fall season, or whether it's going to participate in all these honor band activities, we have exceptional students and we have exceptional musicians, and I think the personality of the band is growing in a positive direction. I enjoy hanging out with you guys and watching you come through the door because you're good folks and you're good people and you know what it means to put your head down and get a job done, whatever it is. And I just see a maturity to the group this year that, and seniors, you can testify or not, but that wasn't here a few years ago. And that's in larger, that's largely because of what you guys bring to the table with your mindset. So we want to celebrate everyone. We want to move quickly, but we don't want to discount the fact that you guys have had an extraordinary year. To make that happen, we have an extraordinary staff. Ms. Harlow. And Shannon Grove. Video game people said we were too loud, so when I say Matt, we'll just skip the beats. Ready? Matt, and a booster group is second to none. Let's give it up for our parents. So we have a large number of people that this was their first year in marching band, and like I said, we're celebrating all the things that you guys do, but this is also going to be kind of angled towards that activity because you guys came out in June of last year and put the time in the parking lot when it was 140 degrees and stayed until we about froze at the last few football games with that. So it's quite a season. And we're one of the few activities that gets out there, and we exist to promote ourselves, but we also are marching down this street that you see out in front of you for the Christmas parade. We're also supporting the football team in Norfolk. We're also getting out and hopefully representing the community in a way that maybe some of the other things that Magna Vista don't do, because that's not how they're designed. I'm not putting them down. I'm just saying we have a community organization here that you should take a lot of pride in. So all of you first year people that have been in the marching band, and this is your first year finishing up, then you're to be commended. We're counting on you to carry that responsibility forward and make the folks proud that you're kind of standing on the shoulders of right now. So if you will, come up, Matt and Shannon, and I'm going to be giving out the awards. This is their first year participating. You gotta say we're Jaden Adams, senior, coming in. This will take till 9 o'clock, but I just really quickly, having someone who hasn't been in band before just kind of join as a senior, that's sticking your neck out there in a different kind of way. Appreciate her leadership. I'm gonna just read through the names. You can just hold up on the applause until we get to the end, because this is 23 people here. In addition to Jaden, we have Jonathan Amos, another senior, Luna Becerra, Madison Carter, Emily Coleman, Liam Davis, Brielle Easta, Noah Hayes, Got a few more, if you will. James Hopkins, Dwayne Hudson, Leslie Ratcliffe, Ben Shelton, Daniel Smith, Mercy Smith, Jocelyn Snow, Dakota Strubber, Caleb Sweeney, Brim Tuckwood, Amelia Tollison, Jenna Turner, Gray Whitlow, and Isabella Ziegler. Start to see the numbers kind of taper off a little bit, but we have, I think, 9 folks that it's their second year in the band. In the marching band, Dylan Cox, Brandon Hall, Tyler Harding, Kendall Kendrick, Ellie Lewis, Emma Nichols, Ruth Savannah Foy, and Allie Smith. And our third year folks, Eric Calley, Tyler Prince, Evelyn Garcia, Jonathan Garcia, Kaylee James, Nikki Kendrick, Colton Lewis, Ivy Silva Reyes, Eden Tran, Devin Williams, and Connor Watkins. Remember what I said about the maturity thing? All right, our 4-year people. 4-year people. And, no. Wilbur Amos. Victor Barras. Montasia Carter. Next person who screams is reading the rest of the names. All right, Savannah Draper. I appreciate that, really. Dylan Short. Lily Turner. Callie Williams. Skylar Zapata. And we have, I think, 2 folks that, believe it or not, this is their 5th year. You would think they started as 8th graders, but they failed English last year. No, but they've been with us through the 8th grade all the way to now. And let's recognize Andy Hopkins. And Nathan Thompson.
That's my section. That's my man. That's my section.
All right, we had 10 students this year who auditioned and were selected for our district band. The event didn't happen. It snowed. I don't have certificates. I don't have anything pretty necessary to give you, but we can give you all the love we can muster right now. If you will, stand up. We're going to clap for you. All district people. What's great is we had so many students that didn't just make the group, but they were in the top parts of the group. And you're talking about the region that goes all the way from, Danville, Halifax, all the way over to Blacksburg and up to to Vista and Roanoke and all that. So Dylan was second in the entire region. Nathan, which was second in the entire region. Third in the entire region. Yeah, we had lots of groups. Eden, among others, were in the top group. But we had lots of folks who made all area band as well. Want to recognize them. Andy Hopkins. Shelton. All area band. Callie Williams. Colton Lewis. Devin Williams. Dylan Short. Ethan Tran. Emily Coleman. Emma Nichols. Eric Calley. Evelyn Garcia. Gretchen Schaller. Yvonne Estrada Salgado. Ivy Silva Reyes. Jackson Wall. Chet Britton. Jonathan Wayne Hudson. Leo Morales. Lillian Turner. Nathan Johnson. Raylan Hall. Can y'all mark? Can y'all get in step while you're there, please?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tyler Harding. And that's our whole area, folks. Hey guys, a lot of you, or everyone in here has contributed in some big way. And what I really admire is those who contribute and maybe sometimes aren't recognized, and that's just the shame of it all. Not everybody can be recognized, but we do have some special awards. Many of us, you'll come up and look, you'll see that it's not just a one-year thing for a lot of us. Being named as a Director's Award or sometimes a dedicated award, there are folks who in recent years received that award. And so rather than having a plaque that just has, Victor Barras, Victor Barras, Victor Barras, Victor Barras, Victor Barras, Victor Barras, then there are opportunities here where we're recognizing lots of folks. It doesn't mean if you're not recognized tonight that I'm somehow slighting you or think that you're less than. We have a few awards, not many, and we're recognizing the folks that came to mind and that we felt was important to recognize this evening for their work in the Marching Band this fall. So thank you all for everything that you've done. I want to take a second and give a few Directors Awards, and I think, if you will, if you think about the names that I'm reading, you'll realize, wow, yeah, they deserve that. And so I want to first recognize just someone who's really taken off musically and done great things, looking for even bigger and better things in the future. Directors Award, the first of three, goes to Ivy Silva Reyes. This next award goes to another student who's really progressed this year and want to hope and encourage them to keep doing things even bigger and better next year. I think you appreciate his leadership and all the things that he's already done. This Director's Award is Devin Williams. Yeah, and this guy has stepped in as a 10th grader and really, musically done some things. And when we were doing these awards a few weeks ago, this came to mind, and the directors were very supportive and realized that he deserved to be recognized for all that he's done and joining in this year for the first time. I want to give the stretch award to Dwayne Hudson.
My tenor.
All right. Anybody go on the Disney trip? Leave your hand up if you didn't get your pin for Florida.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
All right. Guys, you got in 30,000 steps in Disney. You can walk up here. All right. You know, you can't have a marching band without great leaders. We had wonderful section leaders and all that, but we had an outstanding leader on the podium this year who did so many things behind the scenes you're not even aware of, from taking role and frankly just having the you know, listen to me probably more than y'all did. And so that in itself is worth a plaque bigger than this room. But I want to recognize Evelyn. This says, presented to Evelyn Garcia, drum major, appreciation, recognition of service to the Magna Vista High School Band, our high school marching band, 2025-2026. Expecting great things from Evelyn. She did an outstanding job. The band director who started the program at Magna Vista when Drew Mason shut down and Carver shut down. His name was Fred Lewis, no relation, but he had quite an impact on the folks that in this community. People still come up to me now and want to know, you know, if the trips that they went on that they remembered in high school. That's what they remember about being a Magna Vista Warrior from back in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. And so I thought it was fitting a few years ago to get started. The Fred Lewis Dedicated Award, because if you know this gentleman, he's a military guy and all that, but a lot of stuff just behind the scenes, was not a big showman, and this, he just simply did the work and wasn't always recognized as the best band director on the planet. He was a great band director, but it's just because he just did the work and he did it for the kids and he did it for the right reasons. And so we started this award a few years ago, and you can come up and see the names of the plaques, and they all kind of fit within that category of people who simply get the job done, do it extremely well, and would almost kind of rather not be recognized for the achievements that they've got. And I think this year's been going to horn players and percussionists over the years, the few years that we've done it. But if you know this young lady, you know why we kind of branched out this year and went into a different section. The Fred Lewis Dedicated Award, and we recognize from the plaque in the band room, this year goes to Nicolette Kendrick. Along those same lines, we started an award a year or so ago, and you know our winter guard works through from we do tryouts before football season is even over, and then they finished up just a couple of weeks ago, and there was 18 on the guard, and we're traveling all over, and they're loading up the buses and going to Raleigh and south of Raleigh, and it's so far that you end up having to have, you know, 2 drivers to make the hours and all that work out. They're just that committed to this activity, and they were outstanding this year. Each and every one of them deserves, you know, a plaque and a trophy or whatever for the job that they've done. But we decided that we would recognize a student each year that's called the Aspiring Performer. In recognition of effort given, improvement made, and pride taken in the Magna Vista High School Winter Guard. This year's Aspiring Performer, and we're getting by and cheering for everybody here. This year is Amelia Tyler. Everybody get your phones out, we're taking pictures. Thank you. Congratulations. All right, our last award is one that's been given since, probably the 50s and the 60s. It's called the Philip Sousa Award. It's the most prestigious award you can get as a high school band member, and it's tough this year, especially because we have so many great seniors. Seniors, so you weren't all fourth-year people or fifth-year people. Some of you were first-year people, second year. You were huge this year, and we have big shoes to fill. But if the seniors would stand up, and if you will, come up and see Matt afterwards, and I want you to grab a little Magna Vista spear that we have a pin for you to kind of recognize just a little something extra for you to remember. Okay, so seniors, if you will, stand up. Getting back to that Philip Sousa Award winner goes to a senior, and this year's winner receives a pen, a certificate. There's also another certificate that I printed off at school with your name upside down. But this year's goes to Nathan Tyler. One last time for you seniors, how many times have you looked up and seen a table full of food and seen those people on the other side of the table?
A lot.
A lot, yeah. So we're going to do this one more time, and thank you guys for coming out tonight. Take care of cleaning up after yourself and all that. Be respectful downstairs of all the equipment and all that. But guys, enjoy the rest of your night. Seniors, if you will, go get in line, and we'll do this one more time.